Alright guys, today's goal, the learner will be able to use data displays. Okay? Data consists of names, labels, other numerical values, non-numerical values. So if it's not a number like animal, hair color, things like that, it's a category. So it's categorical data. If it deals with numbers, it's numerical data. That's what those mean. Now if you guys need to pause, make sure you copy all this stuff down, okay? Let me change some colors here real quick. Alright, so now choose the appropriate data. So a line graph to display numerical data. So there's one numerical. Let's go through and see paired numerical. Now scatter plot is like when you pair together height and weight and graph those. So X is the height, Y is the weight, things like that. So thank you for your okay, so let's find the other numerical ones. Stem and leaf, we've been doing that. Organized digits, range, things like that. Histogram, same thing. Frequency of numerical data, you could do range possibly. Box and whisker plot, again, you want to organize them into groups, 25%, but it also give you the max and minimum values. So there's all the numerical. The categories, bar graphs. You've seen these. You might not realize it was a bar graph or a difference between that and histogram. But bar graph is like you look at the bottom and it says red hair, and then it tells you how many people had it, or how many people ate hamburgers compared to cheeseburgers, compared to chicken nuggets. Those are bar graphs. Circle graphs, you've seen those, I know. That's like when it's talking about percentages or portions of the whole classroom. So you look at the whole, what portion is doing this. Okay? So hopefully that makes some sense. So let's scroll down here. It says tell whether the data is numerical, categorical, then tell which display or displays you would use to display the data. Explain your reasoning. Okay? A survey conducted where the responses were agree, disagree, or unsure. So, is that a number? No. So we know that that is categorical. Okay? So what would you could use, well, it's a survey, so we don't know the whole, well, we could base it on the whole amount of survey, but I would probably use the bar graph, just to say out of the number of people tested, this bar graph, so I would say not that. Bar graph. Or you could maybe do a circle graph if you want, but I think bar graph would be best there. So how about this one? A study determined the average winning score of a high school soccer team. Well, since winning score, that would deal with numbers, so it's numerical. Okay. Now, which one would you use? You could use a lot here. But what I would probably do is the histogram. And why? Well, the histogram would tell you how many times did one goal win, how many times did two, how many times did three. So you could actually focus on, okay, we need to get at least this to really think we're going to win. Okay? So hopefully, guys, this makes some sense. Is the difference between a category and a numerical value. Okay? So let's move on here. All right. So tell which data display allow you to identify the specified information. The range of the data set. So what would allow us to specify the range? Well, I think the biggest two would be box and whisker plot, because doesn't that give us the max and the min? So box plot. And then scatter plot would work. Scatter plot would probably work as well. But more so than that, I would say the other would be the stem and leaf plot. Okay? How about the least value of the data set there? The least value. Well, definitely the same box plot. and stem and leaf. But also I would say scatter plot here, because you can just find the smallest. And also a line graph. You can't really say histogram here because it's a group, so it can tell you the group, but not anything else. Okay. So let's look at the next one here. It says a teacher records the scores on a project and wants to group the data in intervals of 5 points. Should the teacher use a stem and leaf plot or a histogram? I'm hoping most people could just bust this one out, histogram. Because that's what you did. So you could say 0 to 5. I hope they got higher than a 5 unless it was out of, but, and then make the bar, make that little graph like that. So you could definitely do that. So that would be very, 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 very easy. Intervals of 5. So, all right. So that's looking good. Hopefully, let's scroll up and look on here. Okay. It says 30 people were asked to state the number of hours per week that they commute to and from work in a car. The frequency table shows the results. Is the frequency table misleading? So think about this. If you're doing a frequency table, shouldn't all of them be the same group? So how many hours does this cover? 0 hours, 1 hour, 2 hours. So that would cover 3 hours. 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours. We're good there. 3. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 4. 11 to 12 is just 2. And then 13 to 20, which that would be crazy if you had to go 20 hours to commute to work. Oh, per week. Okay, per week. But I thought I was saying per day for a second. But that has 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So it has 8. Now, not many people are going to want to do that, so that one's just, that's why it's low. But if you look, the other one, besides the one that had 8 hours, the one that had 4 hours had the most frequency. Is that normal? Yeah. So what conclusions could we make from this? Think about that. What could you say about this table based on what the frequencies are and how it is not the most stable thing here? Right? What would you say the most? Well, you could just say most people spend 6 to 10 hours commuting to work. And you could say over 80% spend 10 hours or less. I mean, there's a lot of different things, but those are things you could say. We couldn't say that the majority spend 6 to 10 over everything because or you can't specifically say it's 6 hours, 7 hours, 8 hours, 9 hours, or 10. You can just say 6 to 10, okay? So let's go to the next page. Top says, bring the answers with you to this problem tomorrow to class. I'm not sure why the and is there. That's a mistype by me, my bad. So read this problem, guys. Have it done. Bring it to class. I will see you guys tomorrow.